Salutations, fellow readers, writers, and killers of time on YouTube. My name is Martha Jones, and it seems that all the cool kids of BookTube are celebrating a phenomenon known as Victober. And as fate would have it, roughly at the same time I noticed this, I remembered that I happen to have a copy of the Victorian Treasury, a zippy little read for people who cannot get enough of fun but trivial facts. And since I am one of those people, and cannot rule out to my satisfaction that some of y'all might be as well, I'd like to use the androgynous sounds of my voice to share with you some of the contents of this book, for my meager but sincere part of Victober. During her reign, 7 attempts were made on Queen Victoria's life. On one occasion, a gunman leapt into the carriage. He was felled by a quick punch from John Brown, the Queen's Highland gilly servant. John Brown, huh? His soul goes punching on. The Queen's first language was German. From the age of 3, she also began to learn English and French. In the 1880s, by which time she had been named the Empress of India, Victoria began to learn Urdu and Hindi. Contrary to popular belief, Thomas Crapper's surname did not give rise to the slang word crap. The word had been in existence for several centuries before Crapper invented the Flushing Loo, and probably derives from medieval Latin. Crapire flushum. An apocryphal Dumbledore spell if I ever heard one. The use of the word weekend was first noted by the Oxford English Dictionary in 1879, but it was not in common use until the early 20th century. By the end of the 19th century, it had become popular for country house parties to take place over the, quote, weekend, unquote. But most working-class people still had to work on Saturday mornings. Victorian police officers were forbidden to vote in elections. The telegraph machine was not equipped with the letter Q. Behold, a purloined letter! In 1854, poet Coventry Patmore published The Angel in the House, a long poem about how the perfect wife put her husband's happiness before all else. No matter how badly the man behaved, a true Victorian wife would always forgive him. The poem provided the model for, quote, the perfect Victorian woman, unquote, colon, selfless, pious, chaste, and submissive. I think modern-day philosophers might agree. The woman should be chased around the house. Every day, at many times of day. At the start of Victoria's reign, it was not expected that a wedding dress would be white. Although it became popular after the Queen wore a white wedding dress, the fashion did not become widespread until the 1870s. For the majority of British women, the idea of wearing a dress only once would have been unthinkable. A wedding dress was expected to be a pretty dress that one could wear again and again. In 1881, the Rational Dress Society was founded. They actually have the manifesto in here, which is interesting but long. The short version is, let's quit hurting women with clothes, y'all. Radical concept, at the time. There were numerous newspaper reports of, quote, death by crinoline, unquote. One such death in January 1861 occurred when a young London woman named Miss Maria Power attempted to put a tilting candle upright. The flame ignited her dress and her cage crinoline, made of wood, caught fire. In 1884, the International Health Exhibition was held in London. There was great excitement about the radical vegetarian restaurant at the exhibit. To get rid of bedbugs, Victorians were advised to make a paste of egg whites and mercury and brush it onto the mattress. You know how bad it worked, too? Advert for arsenic soap, 1897, especially prepared as a beautifier for the skin and complexion. Dr. Mackenzie's celebrated arsenical toilet soap and complexion wafers will produce the most lovely complexion free from blotch, blemish, coarseness, redness, freckles, or pimples. Deliciously and expensively perfumed. 1 shilling per tablet. Doctor's certificate with every cake certifying to its harmlessness, purity, and beautifying qualities. Beware of injurious imitations. It was not uncommon for kitchens to have a resident pet. Cats were kept to keep down mice and rats, and hedgehogs were kept to get rid of beetles and other insects. Stale bread was a popular cleaning product, as it could be used to soak up spills or rub out older stains. Eliza Acton, a poet as well as a cook, who was the first British cookery author to put ingredients into separate sections for ease of reference. Until this time, recipes were a piece of literary prose cooks had to read all the way through. One of her recipes is for publisher's pudding filled with expensive ingredients. It is in contrast to a simple recipe of cheap ingredients entitled The Poor Author's Pudding. As always, thank you, and I mean thank you, for giving these videos a shot. I realize these random trivia videos are no one's favorite but mine, but I appreciate you humoring me. Until we meet again, take it easy. Loves you. Bye.
Like my channel, buy my crap, doo-dah, doo-dah. There's no time to take a nap, oh the doo-dah day. Hey!